Welcome back, Ralph's Automotive. 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse GTS. Customer complaints. He has actually got multiple complaints. One, it's vibrating. The front end is shaking really bad. I'm going to put it the way he said it. And also when he's turning, it's making a noise. So actually, I had the car on the rack the other night real quick. I wanted to lift it up because he started talking about tie rod ends and all that good stuff. You know, sometimes people, you know, he's been around automobiles, and you know how it sometimes goes. You know, we're getting all over the place. So I told him, I said, come on over here, let me lift it up, let me have a look at it, see what we need to do to fix it. Okay, so I did. And on this particular vehicle here, I mean, you know, a lot of you know what it is. A lot of you know what these cars here are, you know. This is like mine, you know. For those of you that watch my channel, you know that I have a GTS Spider, so I know the car well, and I've known them from back in the day when they first started coming out, you know. Not a real good platform, not a friend of the actual platform, the automobile itself. I just like the looks of them, if they've been kept up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm babbling. Ignore that part. But we're going to help this fella here out a little bit. We're going to do a little bit of work that is actually not, that I didn't price out. You know, we don't want to, I'm not going to get into details, what all I found wrong with the car. I'm trying to think about what I'm going to say. Well, let's just put it like this. I'm not going to go into details what all I found. The bottom line on it is that, well, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to show you, or I'm going to try. I'm going to try really hard to. So I hope the camera can see that. I'm going to give that a try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't know, at this point in time, I don't know if the camera would have picked that up, but anyway, right here, the belt is broken. You know, I told him, I said you could have an imbalance, but if we take a look, we got a warp in the tire right here. Belt's broken, tire needs to be replaced. Well, I have a set out back, and one of them is real good. 3 of them are not worth a crap because my car had an alignment problem. You know, I bought new tires and had it aligned, but I picked the best one out. I did have actually the same thing going on with mine, and I don't remember what tire it was. I guess I should have marked it, but then on the other hand, I generally don't think about that kind of stuff. But anyway, is what it is. I was told, and sorry, that is a lot of information, by the way. I was told that the front driver's side here has a slow leak, so I did clean it up a little bit, and I went ahead and sprayed it with soap, and really I haven't found a leak part. Sometimes these things start leaking from the extreme differences in the hot and cold. I mean, we've had some extremely warm days, and then you know, going back down to 30 or below. You know, a lot of times that, or well, I'm not going to say a lot of times, but that can cause issues with leaks. I didn't notice he ain't got, I mean, all of them have weights in the front that I noticed, I believe. Yes, all of them have weights in the front. This one here does not. I've noticed that. Well, what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and rotate. Like I said, I didn't quote everything on here that I'm gonna do. I haven't quoted the rotation on it or anything like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and balance this wheel for him, and I'm gonna rotate his tires. I'm gonna bring the two in the back. I'm gonna bring them on the front axles here. Those are the same actually, so we'll have the same tire on the drive axle basically. I'm gonna put this supposedly leaking one. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and balance it out, and I'm gonna move it to the back because it's more worn than what's in the back. They didn't keep up with rotation. I mean, it's not a surprise really, you know. And we're not here to be mean to anybody. That's opposite of what I'm trying to accomplish here. You know, we're gonna help them out a little bit. I'm gonna bring y'all along to go to the CV axle here. I got a new one sitting over there on the bench. We got it, and while I do that, I'm gonna bring y'all along. Without further ado, let's get started. Start by knocking the wheels loose here. I'm certain the car probably needs a alignment as well, so I'm gonna go ahead and I don't know, we might just go ahead and slap them on the balancer and see what they look like. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I could go ahead and do that real quick. Get him on the balancer, see what it look like. Don't take that long. I don't know that I've made a video yet about balancing, you know. It's not that big of a deal. Generally don't take that long. What makes it, flip that screen around, what makes the balance support nice, you know, we can see how a tire is running, always look at them, you know, see what they do side to side, up and down. Not going to get into the settings part of it. That may be for another video. Just kind of curiosity what they look like, you know. We have a look at that. I suspect they're not really close, and they're not. It's out quite a ways, so take the weight off of it. As you can see, that tire's a little bit bouncy. You know, we'll get that a lot. These Eclipses here, I think they had a real issue with the rims bending on them. So, you know, that was a problem there for sure. So got 0 on the one side and we got 0.1 on the other, which is acceptable for a car for sure. I do have the balancer set, whoa, really fine resolution. If anybody ever done balancing on tires and wheel and tire assemblies, they'll know what I'm talking about. You can set resolution on these things. You know, you have a range there we can go, but 0 and 0.1, that is certainly acceptable any day, you know, for a car. Trucks, of course, they can take a whole lot more in balance before it starts showing really bad. But anyway, I'm not going to film all of it. I'm going to flip the camera back around, turn the camera off. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and get them balanced out for them, and we'll turn the camera. I will turn the camera back on whenever we'll go to the CV axle. I'm going to go ahead and move that camera a little bit. Got to get the weights off of here. Inside didn't have one, only the outside's got one. I'll get the weight out of it, off of it, out of it. I'll get that off. Well, I'll be jiggered. It always seems to be the norm when you have a camera running. That's when that happens. It never happens any other time. But we'll get a camera running and that seems to always happen. Got a really bad feeling. I got a really bad feeling that the tire that I've got here may be the one that is the one that's got the broken belt. I can't tell it. I can't see it on the inside. I hope it isn't, but if it is, it is. We'll regroup, do something else, I guess. There's going to be some people crying about this one. A lot of times, all I use is a heavy soap. Of course, there's no TPS here, so no problem on that. Ah. Yeah, I did that one. My bad. So I was wrong about the tire. This tire here, I guess, is okay. We'll balance that damn thing and or balance that darn thing. Go on. Ooh, that's way out. Yeah. That one right there is out a little bit more than what we like, but it is what it is. It's free, mainly. So, I mean, cannot really argue with free too much. Sure, it's going to be out just a smidge, but I think at the end of the day it'll be good. Yep, I'm good with that. Okay, and now for the actual work that we're getting paid for, actually. Actually have to fire the impact up on that one. Anyway, remove your car key. One of the first things you want to do, obviously, get that little Jesse out of there. Figure out what size that is. .32 mil. Now on this one here, I don't think for a second that the little impact going to get it off, but it might. Does sometimes surprise me a little bit. Maybe that's one of them days, and that'd be great. I won't have to mess with the air. Put a little bit of lube on that. Well, like I said, sometimes it does surprise me. Of course, these here ain't that tight in the first place, so. Nice thing about this one is we can whale the crap out of it because, well, we're going to replace it. So, you know, a lot of the techs out there, you know, that, or new mechanics, I guess I'm going to call them a mechanic. They're not really, well, anyway, we're going to call them a mechanic. A lot of mechanics out there, you know, first starting out, see it all the time. You know, the worst part about making money on these jobs here is actually really simply is not having your tools organized and not knowing where your tools are, and you know, it's a problem for sure. You know, always make sure that you have your tools handy. That saves a lot of time. I mean, a lot of time. You know, in this shop here, and you get a lot of people say, you know, about the flat rate, how they don't like it or whatever. You know, they'd rather be on a base plus commission. Yeah, I get all that. You know, I do flat rate here, but I'm not. I know that's going to sound kind of odd, but I'm also not in a hurry. You know, when I do things here, I'm not really in a hurry. I don't much care. I'm not too worried about it. You know, I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to go into a full-on explanation why I do the things I do, but you know, I'm not too worried about it. You know, time-wise, but I can tell you this, that very seldom that I miss time. You know, normally I do make a little something, so that's all that matters to me. Anyway, moving on. Got your axle nut loose. Now I can do one of two things. You know, some people don't like to separate the ball joints. On this one here, the ball joints are not in that great a shape. I'm not going to separate ball joint on this one. I'm going to drop the whole lower A-arm. Easy to do. Couple of bolts on the back hanger. Bolt and a nut here in the front. No big deal at all. I'm going to go ahead and drop it. And of course, as you see, Little Impact was unable to do this one here. Whoops. Perfect. I guess I never did really tell you what the diagnosis was on this. The CV boot here, on as far as the noises when he was turning, the CV boot is just like shredded. Grease is out of it. There's rust inside. You know, when I told him, I said, I'm not gonna go for a test drive in the car, not with it looking like that. You know, irrelevant at that point in time. We're gonna have to get that fixed first. Nothing we're gonna. There's nothing in the world we're gonna do about that. It needs to be fixed. That's just all there's to it. You know. Gotta get that fixed first. No way around that. Got this part of it here loose. Battery went dead on me. Had to change it, so you didn't miss a whole lot. I didn't catch it, but I just took the bearing out of here. Feel it. It feels pretty good. Go over to the vise. So normally I can get them out. This oh, the boot broke. The boot was broke. Rest of it came apart. So what I just did is I took the back half of the axle. I unbolted it on top. You can do that on these cars here. You don't have to take the exhaust and all that good stuff off. I think service information tells you to do that. You can do it with two U-joints on a 3/8 drive. But anyway, I went into the vise and took the back of it off. We'll go ahead and put it back together. Actually, I lied. Not going to go put back together, so here's the part that comes out of the transmission. You got this carrier bearing, and it's bolted on the side of the engine. Anybody doing it, I'm not going to just try to cram the camera up on in here. Ain't no need in it. Anybody that's going to do it knows exactly what I'm talking about. So no need in me getting all excited about it. This bearing is also in a or there's two dowels up top, so to start it back up, not a problem there. Get this back on here. Of course, it's a lot easier with the axle out of the way. I just could not get it apart. You know, I tried tapping on it. It doesn't take me that long to get this apart, as you can see. I'm not too worried about it. Make sure we get them bolts back in there. This here is a nasty little booger. Of course, it's been leaking for some time, and as with most all of the Eclipses, they all leak like crazy anyway. And of course, I think it's widely known that it is a Chrysler engine, so no surprise there. Of course, I'm going to have to get me a longer ratchet now. But basically what I did is, if the when the axle is in the way, this is about the only way that I've ever found. I got two joints. Yeah, they're taped for a reason, but we're not going to go into that. But anyway, I got two U-joints on this, and that normally gets in there and gets them out, no problem at all. It doesn't take that long. I mean, you add a few more minutes to the job, you know, not a big deal at all. We'll tighten them back up. That actually snapped in just now. So, take your nut off. Yeah. We've got a ABS cable here that I'm going to go ahead and tie up for him. Somehow the bracket got destroyed on it, but we'll go ahead. Well, as a matter of fact, when I think about it, I'll do it now so I don't forget it. Again, no, I did not do that. It was already like that. Matter of fact, he knows about it. I told him when I wrecked it the first time, I told him that the ABS wire was fixing to get him because it was just dangling right there. But we'll go ahead and zip tie it in place here for him. All is good now. Snips, cut the tail off. Ta-da! We'll put our bolt back in there. Get that tapped up just a little. Ta-da. Ta-da. Wheel. Doody doody doody. Put our nut back on. Of course, it's amazing how I'm stating the obvious, right? So here, we're going to pay attention to put it back to where it came from. The bolt is leaving a perfect impression on there. And once again, I'm guilty of something. I should have mentioned that. I did go over there while the camera was off a while ago. I actually prepped the bolts. I did put a little dab of thread locker on these. I know I tend to forget to tell you all about it, but that's not saying that I didn't do it. Like I said, I did it off camera, so I apologize for not telling you. Well, this is the part where I'll have to be a little bit careful. I want to go over here to the opposite end. You normally would do that with the vehicle on the ground. Some people are probably going to argue on my methods here. Be careful doing this kind of stuff. Of course, you know, you're on the lift. Always careful when you're on a lift. Make sure you don't offset. I stuck a jack screw in the back on the opposite corner, and really, guys, what I'm doing here is I'm bringing the suspension up because this bushing should really be tightened. You know, it holds in between there. There's rubber pregnated inside the metal, and the twist, you'll get too much twist if you have it hanging down. So you kind of get the suspension up. I guess you see what I'm doing here. So this is basically almost a relaxed position. So now we can go ahead and finish tightening it up. Once it's tight, it won't spin in there. I don't know if this bushing here is actually vulcanized inside of there or not, or if it's just a floating bushing. I don't really exactly know. I don't care. If it is vulcanized inside of that arm, now we're twisting with it, and it does look like it's twisting out a little bit, so maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, don't care. Any event, that's good enough for what we're doing. Get our jacks out from underneath. Again, we are going to wrap this job here up pretty fast now. Not much more to do. As you guys have seen, all that right there, that whole process did not take too awful long. We've got our carrier bearing tightened back up. I'll put our new nut on it. Get that tightened up. The bed Fred. What? Come on now. There we go. Put your cotter pin back in. Throw the old castle another way. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. We'll put the wheel back on, and this job here is actually completed. Like, subscribe, leave me some comments, what you would or would not do. Anyway, now we have this all completed. I'm gonna lower the car back down and put the wheels back on, and basically that's it. Thanks for watching. Again, subscribe if you don't care, you know, although, well, I'm not monetizing, so it doesn't really matter. But anyway, like, subscribe, do what you do, leave me some comments. No, we don't care about what kind of comments you leave. Just keep it civil. You know, you don't have to agree with what I do, but just keep it civil is all I'm asking. Thanks for watching. Till next time.